Humans can survive injuries that kill machines. I learned this 3 minutes after we shot one. My designation is Ver 9, Senior Observer of the Galactic Council. I had witnessed wars between species that could bend gravity. I had watched moons split under weapons older than recorded history. But humans were supposed to be different. Weak. Fragile. Temporary. Their bones broke easily. Their organs required oxygen. Their bodies depended on narrow temperatures and primitive chemical reactions. The Council classified them as a minor civilization. That classification lasted 11 days. Then the human diplomat arrived. His name was Elias Voss. He entered the Council chamber alone. No guards. No weapons. No visible armor. Only a black suit. A white shirt. A small silver device attached to his wrist. I immediately understood the purpose. He was afraid. That was the obvious explanation. The humans had sent their most valuable representative into a room filled with 43 species because they believed diplomacy could protect him. We considered this amusing. The Council had never needed diplomacy to control weaker civilizations. We simply applied pressure until resistance became irrational. Elias walked toward the central platform. He did not look at the weapons surrounding him. That confused me. Every intelligent species reacts to weapons. Eyes move. Breathing changes. Muscles tighten. Elias did none of these things. His heartbeat remained almost perfectly steady. I concluded that humans had poor danger recognition. That would become my first mistake. The Council speaker raised one crystalline limb. Humanity will surrender its military expansion. Elias stopped. He looked at the speaker, then at the thousands of observers above us. Then he smiled. Not nervously. Not proudly. Almost sadly. We came here to negotiate, he said. The chamber laughed. I did not. Something about his voice was wrong. It contained no fear. The speaker ordered him to kneel. Elias remained standing. A security drone descended from the ceiling. Its weapon charged. The Council wanted to demonstrate authority. I understood the strategy. Break the human psychologically. Make him kneel. Make him beg. Then force him to sign. Simple. Predictable. Efficient. The drone fired. The plasma bolt struck Elias directly in the chest. The impact threw him across the chamber. His body hit the black stone floor. The room became silent. I expected blood. There was none. I expected screaming. There was none. Elias slowly pushed himself upward. His suit was burned. His shirt was torn. Something dark moved beneath his skin. The Council speaker froze. I magnified my visual feed. His chest was damaged. But the wound was closing, not healing. Closing. As if his body had decided the injury was inconvenient and simply rejected it. I searched the biological database. Impossible. No mammalian organism should repair thermal plasma damage in seconds. The speaker ordered another shot. I almost warned him. I do not know why. Perhaps some primitive instinct inside my mind recognized what the Council could not. The second bolt struck Elias in the shoulder. He staggered. Then he looked at the drone. His expression changed. For the first time, I saw emotion. Not fear. Not pain. Disappointment. The drone fired again. Elias moved. I did not see how. One moment, he stood beneath the Council emblem. The next, he was beside the drone. His hand closed around his weapon arm. Metal screamed. He crushed it. The drone fell in 2 pieces. The chamber erupted into chaos. Security units activated. 24 drones surrounded him. Elias did not run. He simply stood there, waiting. I made another incorrect conclusion. He was preparing to surrender. Instead, he touched the silver device on his wrist. Every light in the chamber turned red. The Council's systems began shutting down. Doors sealed. Weapons went offline. Gravity flickered. Then every screen displayed the same message. Unknown human protocol active. I stared at the words. Unknown protocols were impossible. The Council controlled the chamber. The Council controlled the station. The Council controlled every system inside this sector. Or so we believed. Elias looked toward us. His face was calm. Now, he said quietly, we can actually talk. The speaker screamed for the guards. None moved. Their weapons were dead. Their command systems were dead. Their communication links were dead. The entire chamber had become a cage, with us inside, and Elias outside it. Then I detected something beneath the station. A vibration. Too deep to be mechanical. Too slow to be an engine. I opened the external sensors. My vision filled with darkness. Then the darkness moved. Something enormous was approaching the Council station. Not one ship. Thousands. Black vessels emerged from hyperspace without warning. No identification signals. No diplomatic markings. No weapons signatures. That was what terrified me. We could not detect their weapons. We could not detect their engines. We could barely detect the ships themselves. Elias watched the display. For the first time, he looked tired. I thought he was relieved. I was wrong again. He was mourning. The speaker finally understood that something had gone terribly wrong. You brought a fleet. Elias shook his head. No. His eyes remained fixed on the approaching darkness. I brought a warning. The speaker demanded to know where the human fleet had come from. And somehow, through the entire chamber, I felt that he was speaking only to me. You made the mistake of thinking humans fight to win. He paused. The black ships stopped moving. Every vessel turned toward the station at exactly the same moment. Elias whispered the words I would remember until my species died. Sometimes we fight so something else can survive. Then the station detected a second fleet. Behind us. Then a third. Then a fourth. The Council had spent centuries studying every major civilization in the galaxy. We knew every military doctrine, every weapon, every defensive strategy. But we had never studied humanity's most dangerous weapon, because it was not inside their ships. It was inside their people. And we were about to discover what happens when a species stops trying to survive peacefully. The first fleet behind us fired, not at the Council station, at the stars. For 0.8 seconds, every sensor in the chamber went blind. Then the universe returned. But something had changed. The stars were moving. No. The station was moving. We had been pulled out of normal space. The Council speaker stared at the displays. Where are we? Elias Voss did not answer. I watched him carefully. His posture had changed. The calm diplomat was gone. His shoulders were lower. His eyes were colder. I assumed the humans were finally afraid. That was my next mistake. The Council ordered emergency evacuation. Nothing happened. The station doors remained sealed. The transport systems remained dead. Then a voice came through every speaker. It was human. Calm. Almost gentle. Do not resist. The speaker demanded identification. The voice answered. You attacked one of ours. 3 words. Nothing more. But every species in the chamber understood the meaning. The Council had killed diplomats before. Hundreds. Sometimes thousands. Usually their governments protested. Then they surrendered. Humans were supposed to behave the same way. We had observed their history. They negotiated. They compromised. They apologized. They forgave. We had mistaken restraint for weakness. The chamber shook. Something struck the station. Then another impact. Then another. Not explosions. Doors. Thousands of them. Opening. Human soldiers entered through maintenance shafts, service tunnels, emergency corridors, and even sealed walls. They moved silently. Black armor. No visible insignia. No wasted motion. They did not attack the council members. They walked past them. I cannot understand it. Why ignore the enemy? Why move deeper into the station? Then I saw their target. The Central Command Corps. The Council's most protected system. The humans reached it in 23 seconds. The speaker activated the station's final defense. Every remaining weapon turned toward the intruders. I expected slaughter. Instead, Elias stepped forward. Stop! The human soldiers stopped. Every one of them. Instantly. The speaker laughed. He believed he had discovered the weakness. Your soldiers obey you. Elias looked at him. No. The speaker's laughter disappeared. They obey the mission. The command core exploded. Not violently. Precisely. Its memory crystals separated from their housing without damaging the surrounding chamber. The humans were not destroying the station. They were taking it. That was when I finally understood the pattern. Every human action we had observed seemed irrational. They accepted injuries. They refused to retreat. They protected enemies. They ignored opportunities to kill. We had assumed these were weaknesses. They were not. They were choices. And humans become terrifying when choice disappears. The council speaker ordered the execution of every human soldier. No response. He ordered the station to overload its reactors. No response. He ordered every allied fleet to attack. No response. Then Elias removed his silver wrist device. He placed it on the floor. A tiny hologram appeared. Earth. Our records showed Earth as a developing world. Primitive. Divided. Vulnerable. But the hologram changed. Cities vanished. Oceans disappeared. The planet became covered in military structures. Not visible weapons. Hidden ones. Buried beneath oceans. Inside mountains. Under cities. Beyond the moon. Behind distant planets. The council had never detected them. The speaker whispered one word. Ow! Elias looked at him. You never looked. The hologram expanded. Then I saw something impossible. Human ships were leaving Earth. Not hundreds. Not thousands. Millions. Some were enormous. Others were barely larger than the drones we use for maintenance. They came from everywhere. From orbital stations. From asteroid fields. From artificial moons. From places our maps labeled empty. The Council had been watching humanity. But humanity had been watching us. 4 generations. I felt something inside my chest tighten. Our invasion had not surprised them. Our attack had not surprised them. Even Elias being shot had not surprised them. The entire event had been anticipated. The human diplomat had allowed himself to be attacked. I stared at him. You wanted this. Elias looked at me. No. His answer was immediate. We wanted peace. Then his expression hardened. But we prepared for your answer. The station went silent. A new message appeared across every display. Galactic Council Military Network, disabled. Then another. Council Fleet Command, disabled. Then another. All Council wormhole gates, locked. The speaker collapsed. Not from injury. From understanding. Humanity had not invaded the Council. They had isolated it. Every fleet. Every gate. Every command structure. Gone. The galaxy was suddenly watching the Council alone. Elias walked toward the central platform. The soldiers behind him lowered their weapons. He looked at the wounded Council members. Then he looked at me. You're the observer. I cannot speak. He knew. He knew exactly who I was. You recorded everything, he said. I nodded. He stepped closer. Then record this too. I activated my recorder. Elias looked toward the observation window. Beyond it, human ships filled the darkness. Millions of them. But they were not firing. They were waiting. We are not here to conquer your galaxy. The speaker slowly raised his head. Then what do you want? Elias answered without turning. I want every species in this room to remember something. You look back at us. Humans are not peaceful because we are harmless. The chamber became completely still. We are peaceful because we understand exactly what happens when we stop being peaceful. No one moved. No one breathed. Then Elias walked toward the exit. The doors opened. The humans began leaving. I expected an execution. There was none. I expected revenge. There was none. That confused me more than the fleet. The council had attacked their diplomat. They had disabled our military. They had surrounded our station. Yet they were leaving us alive. I finally asked the question that had haunted me since his arrival. Why? Elias stopped. He looked over his shoulder. Because you are still capable of learning. Then he disappeared. Hours later, the council released every captured human. Every station was returned. Every weapon was returned. Even the damaged command core was repaired. The humans left without claiming territory, without demanding tribute, without taking prisoners. History recorded it as humanity's first major military victory. That record was wrong. Humanity had not won a war. They had prevented one. But there was one detail I could never explain. Before Elias left, I secretly scanned his body again. His wounds were gone. His heartbeat was normal. His blood chemistry was normal. His bones were normal. Everything about him was biologically human, except for one thing. His nervous system had changed. Not during the battle. Before it. Long before we met him. Human biology contained a dormant emergency response that our science had never identified. A hidden survival state. One that activated when a human believed another human life was in danger. Elias had not entered it when we shot him. He had entered it when he realized the council intended to continue. That was why his fleet had come. Not for revenge. For protection. And that was when I understood the final horror. We had spent centuries searching for the most dangerous species in the galaxy. We searched for the strongest, the fastest, the most intelligent. We searched for monsters. We never searched for a species willing to become one only when someone else was threatened. I still remember the first sentence in my report. Humans can survive injuries that kill machines. I was wrong. Humans do not survive because their bodies are stronger. They survive because when everything else tells them to stop, something inside them asks one final question. Who is still alive? And if the answer is someone they love, humanity does not die. Humanity gets back up. That was the day I stopped fearing what humans could do to us. I started fearing what they would become for each other.